How are you doing today? It is Wednesday, May 2nd, 2018, and I'm Gerald, the Ginger Gerald, your guide to cross stitch that I like to stitch. I don't know. I'm just being funky today. It's been one of those really, really long, super crazy, busy days. Lots to talk to you today about. Not a whole lot of stitching to show you. Well, so stitching to show you. But I'm excited today because I have a lot of exciting news to talk to you today about. So the first thing I want to talk to you today, blah, 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 blah. The first thing I want to say today is I found out this is National Small Business Week. And as an owner of a small business, I feel like it's important to support our small businesses. So I want to give a shout out to 3 of my favorite small businesses. 2 of them I haven't supported yet. I need to, and I'm going to soon. But they have been great small businesses. So anyways, 3 small businesses that I think you should all go check out and browse their shops and throw some love at. And go check out any small business. But anyway, so this week's episodes, all of my episodes this week, I'm going to shout out some small businesses that I think deserve some love. Now, granted, there are so many small businesses out there that deserve some love. So just because I say these are the ones, go check out some small businesses. Anyways, Lindy Stitches, Stephanie, you can check her out on YouTube as well as Etsy. I'm going to link the stores below for these stores. All of these stores can be found on Etsy, as well as one of them can be found on Facebook. But I'm going to link the Etsy store. Lindy Stitches is a designer. Stephanie, she also has a YouTube channel. Actually, all these have YouTube channels. But Lindy Stitches just came out with an awesome sampler with a cat. I forget what it says, but she does awesome, quirky designs, some quotes from movies and books. So go check her out. She's awesome. She's also been very helpful with many questions that I've had when it came to starting a small business. So give her some love. Also, another one that just kind of came to my head when I was sitting down and looking at my, writing down my notes was, I watched a video from Trisha, 3L Threads. So go check her out on Etsy. I will link her store below. She does, she's a big distributor of soda stitch patterns here in the US. So if you're interested in those fantasy style soda stitch patterns, she sells a lot more than soda stitch. She also does the subscription nest egg for the nest egg subscriptions for if you're interested in collecting and building your stash of hand-dyed specialty flosses. I think it's, I really don't know. You'd have to go check her out. So check her out. She does awesome stuff. She also has her own channel of 3L Threads. I watch every channel she has as soon as she puts them up. So awesome. Go check her out. And I cannot have a video when I'm talking about small businesses without saying some of my favorite bags, Evertotes. So Caroline of Off the Grid Needle Arts and her Evertotes bags. So she is doing some new things with I guess once a week, maybe putting out a bag or 2 that are some fabrics that she might be running low on. I'm not exactly sure. I thought that's what she might have said, or maybe I was just misunderstanding when she was talking. But she's doing some pretty neat stuff with her bags, so go check her out. Evertotes down below. Okay, now let's get to the stitching. So I have one work in progress, and that is my snowy owl. The only progress that I did on this was during my stitch along video, stitch with me video last week on Saturday. So this is what it will look like when it's done. It is a Riolis kit. It is using the acrylic wools. And if you watch that video, I did say this is one of the projects that I want to get done before my birthday on June 24th. So I have a good, maybe a quarter of this done. So 3/4 left to go. And all I've done is this wheat color there. And that's it. And that was all I did in the Stitch With Me video. And if you watched the Stitch With Me video, you would have known that I did this top part. No, I did this part, and I did all wrong. And after the video, I had to pull it all out. But I did that. It took me maybe 20 minutes, so not too bad. I had done it 2/1, and I found out I actually only had to do it 1/1 because it's supposed to be 1/1 instead of the 2/1 that the owl is in. So I decided I'm going to do all of the wheat that is over here, the background. I'm going to do this side, and then I'm going to continue on with the body of the owl. So hopefully the owl won't take me too much longer. I have not had a whole lot of time to stitch this week so far. I'm hoping that will change after tonight. So this is what I'll be working on for the rest of the week. Yeah, this is what I'm working on the rest of the week. So that's my only work in progress because everything else that I've worked on is done. Okay, Sunday is my Sunday secret stitch. I did not work on that this week because I was working on projects for my store to get done. And I got them done. So firstly, last Friday, during the Friday night stitching, I completed the Phoenix. I took pictures so I could put it, and I updated the pictures and the PDF on my Etsy store. And here it is all done. I would normally insert a picture of what it would look like when it's done, but I don't have to because here it is done, fully framed. And I'm probably going to get a lot of glare. Oh, there's not too much glare. Trying not to get too much glare. Sorry, it's one of the, sorry, not sorry really, but it's one of, this is a frame. Okay, so a little backstory. Saturday, I went to IKEA and I posted on Instagram a picture of IKEA and I said, I am not buying yarn cubbies. Of course, everyone thought that because I said I'm not buying yarn cubbies, I'm buying yarn cubbies. No, I did not buy yarn cubbies. I bought a couple chairs for my balcony. So whenever I feed Geo, I can sit out on the balcony and hang out with him while I'm knitting. And then I also I wanted a more modern frame for the Phoenix. Sorry, trying not to get the glare too much. Of course, because it's an IKEA frame, it's that plexiglass. It's not even plexiglass. It's almost like plexiplastic. When I took the picture for the Etsy store, I had to have it without the frame. But because my house gets so dusty, I was like, I'm not going to have something that doesn't have some kind of protection on it. So I'm very happy with that. Anyways, we'll talk more about the store when we get to the shop update. So my Phoenix is done. first major goal is complete in order for me to have a birthday start. Also, thank you for all of the comments as far as interest in a birthday countdown vlog in June. I think I will probably end up doing that. Hopefully you won't all be overwhelmed by the amount of videos coming out in May, that you'll be okay with that in June. Or maybe you will have withdrawal from the amount of videos that were in May, and then all of a sudden there won't be any, so you will want them, and then we're going to have them. So, and then my last fully finished object is my new design that I'm releasing today. It is now released in my store. You can go find it in the store. And if you all remember my new release from last month, which is my old-fashioned windmill, this is now a new series. This is the first in the series of old-fashioned architectural elements. I'll just let that sink in for a minute. So we have number one, old-fashioned architectural element, old-fashioned windmill. Can you figure out what the next tile is going to be? It's going to start with old-fashioned. And here it is. Now, I tried to, the sizes are going to be about the same. So the sizes are roughly 45 by 70, I think is what it is. 45 by 40 by 75, 40, somewhere in around that range. So they're smalls. Of course, as you can see, the pillows are not quite the same. But we'll get to that here again in a minute too. They were finished separate. They were finished differently. I used the same, all of the. I'm just going to show you my new design, and my second fully finished object is the old-fashioned water tower. So as you can see, all of the colors are the same. So I've used all of the same colors, so we're going to maintain the same continuity throughout the entire series. If you choose to use the prescribed flosses and fabrics. I use 30 count weeks Dye Works Havana for the fabric. And I'm pretty pleased with that. So we have the windmill, and we have the old-fashioned water tower. Now, of course, remember I had a little background story with this. The inspiration for the windmill was I was at Hobby Lobby walking through, and walking through the aisles, and I saw some decorations that caught my eye, and I was inspired. The inspiration for the water tower was I was at jury duty, and in the jury deliberation room was a picture of the Campbell's Soup factory in Camden, New Jersey, because Campbell's is based out of Camden, New Jersey. And the original water tower was laying on its side in downtown Camden. And I was like, that would be a neat second design for my series. So I did some more research, and then I was thinking, and I texted my friends who have been helpful and inspirational, and I was like, kind of like Green Acres water tower. because I think there's a water tower in Green Acres. So there we go. Green Acres. Yeah, Green Acres. Old-fashioned water tower. So you can see there is, unlike the windmill where it's 1/1 on the base, it's all the X's in the water tower are 2/2, 1/2, 2/2. And then there is backstitch. So there's the backstitch in the base, as well as backstitch you can see up here as for the ceiling or the roof, whatever you want to call it, just to give it a little bit more dimension. So there. That is number 2. I can also tell you, I'm not going to give you any more information other than there will be a third, which will come out next month. Okay, end of story. So go check out the water tower in the Etsy store. It will be linked below. And we'll get to the shop update here in a minute. So again, I said these were finished differently. That gets into my only purchase. Now, the purchase was done a while ago, but I only got to start playing with it this week, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't really have much time to stitch this week, because I was playing with the purchase. Oh, and also I did minus that little hole there. Remember in my hand stitching tutorial, I said I did a ladder stitch, which I really didn't do. I did a whip stitch. I did the ladder stitch on these, and I looked it up and I followed the tutorial on the ladder stitch, and I think I did a pretty good job. Minus that hole right there. So, you want to see my purchase? I bet you can all guess what it is. I bought a sewing machine. So on Monday, I set it up for the first time. Took me about 2 hours to play with it to figure out what I was doing in order to get a proper stitch. And then Tuesday, I restitched to make sure that I was getting the proper stitch, and then I stitched up the water tower. Because the last time I touched a sewing machine was about 20 years ago in 7th grade home ec. Would that have been 20? Yeah, 20 years ago. So I think I did pretty good for the first time touching a sewing machine in 20 years. So, yep. Now, keep in mind, I'm not really much into quilts. I say that now, and then I'm going to turn into Bendy Stitchy, who says I'm not into samplers, and then she ends up being like this sampler fiend. So at this moment in my life, I don't need another hobby of quilting. However, Christine was very instrumental in helping me pick out which sewing machine I was going to get, because I didn't want to spend a lot of money on a sewing machine. And with her guidance, I am very happy with a basic model Singer that I purchased through Joann Fabrics. Actually, I had it shipped right to my house from online. Took about a week. And of course, I couldn't pass up this beautiful gray one. You know, I don't want some ugly white one when I can have a nice gray one. So, yeah, I'm happy. So that's my sewing machine. And no, Yvonne, I have not named it yet. Okay. So shop update. My shop update. Of course, Windmill is still available in the shop, printed or PDF. Water Tower is now available in the shop, printed or PDF. And until May 14th, because this was my very first pattern I had ever designed and put on sale in Etsy, and I have now fully finished my very first pattern I designed on my own, I'm going to run a special sale for this pattern. So until May 14th, this pattern will be 25% off. So that's just, I think it's like a week and a half. So you can check that out. No coupon necessary. You go into the Etsy store and you will see the regular price slashed out and the sale price on sale there. So, and that is for both the printed or the PDF pattern. So go check that out. That's the Phoenix Rising pattern. Pretty happy with that. So 25% off until May 14th, 2018, in case you're watching this in like 2020 and you're new to my channel. Hi, people of the future. So, Water Tower, Windmill, hopefully there'll be more in the future. So go check those out. I hope you do. I'm very appreciative of all of your support of my business. I know Bendy shouted me out last week, I think, for her thing she's all into with for new designers of our FlossTube community, and I'm very appreciative of that. So thank you, Michelle, for doing that. So again, I thank you all. You know, I really enjoy designing. I'm really, you know, I'm being very inspired by doing all of this. Plus, it is a lot of work. I will say it is a lot of work. It takes time away from my bigger patterns that I enjoy stitching, but I'm also enjoying stitching up these little ones. And I'm kind of intrigued by stitching and finishing pillows now with the sewing machine. Now, granted, that's probably about all I'm going to do with the sewing machine is finish cross stitch stuff, but there's nothing wrong with that. So with that being said, I have to get ready for some plans for tonight. I have to get this edited and up online so you can go check out my Etsy store. So support those small businesses. Enjoy your stitching, and don't forget to be creative. And I will see you in the next video. Have a great day.